Hey man, I don't really know what is the correct size for a hand to play guitar, but I do know just about every student I've ever had always says, there's something wrong with my hand. It's too big, it's too small. My fingers are too skinny, my fingers are too fat, my fingers are too short, my fingers are too long. I have no idea, other than I don't really care, and I don't think that's the issue. I think there might be uh, there might be differences in hands, the way the joints work, or the angles of the fingers. I'm not really seeing it though. I mean, I'm pretty short. I guess my hands are pretty small. I don't really know. I think it's mostly about repetition and getting your hands on your instrument, and just playing is where you're gonna. That's what's gonna fix your problem, not obsessing with the size of your hand. I will concede that really fat fingers are gonna have a hard time getting on the string and not touching the neighboring string. So if your fingers are really fat, you might need to look for the widest um, fingerboard and string spacing you can find. A nylon string classical style guitar usually has pretty wide fingering, or you could even try a bass. You might be built for bass. So it's not that your hands are too small, but fat fingers can be a problem on guitar. Um, I don't know. I just don't think about it. If I don't really long for long skinny fingers. I'm just a short little guy, average hands. Um, I think just spending time with your instrument, like I say, just start with your F sharp, G sharp. See how your hand just lays down on those four frets. And you could practice just picking those notes. See how I keep my fingers all down in a row? That might be a good test to see if you can keep your fingers down. If your fingers do this, if they kind of react, kind of watch for that. I don't think you can force them down, but you can start working them to not fly away from the neck. So again, not force, but repetition. That's my philosophy anyway. Um, Here's something you can try, like a G power chord. That's a 3 and a 5 for frets on the 6th and 5th strings, a G and a D note. Try adding your pinky on the 7th fret of the 5th string on the beat, like this. How does that work for you? That's a good indication. If you can do that, your fingers are doing pretty good. If not, you probably are not practicing enough, or you're probably not working your hand to spread it out a little bit. So that's what I think anyway. Now check this out. You can even do one more fret. That's like a G. Well, this is adding an E, and that's adding an F. That's like a G6 and a G7. And if you want to really challenge yourself, do it with F. So in a way, I think smaller fingers might be the advantage if your hands are, versus really fat fingers. I had a student that had hands that looked like a baseball glove. His fingers were just bizarrely huge. He's also a plastic surgeon, and he did some surgery on me too. Actually, I don't know how he could sew my skin up with those massive fingers, but that dude, I'm like, look, you just figure it out. I'm not even going to look at your hands, because he had to come up with his own ways, and he didn't need me picking on his fingering choices. Like I can't remember how he came up with different ways to play, but anyway, I need to look him up. See how he's doing. So, yeah, man. So just work on, even scales can help you with your dexterity. That's probably more the issue, dexterity versus hand size. So, C major. Ugh. Work on your scales and just get those down, get them to sound smooth, and think about that. Don't worry about your hand size. That's not the problem. That's from my point of view. I might be totally wrong, but that's after teaching guitar for 46 years, that's what I've learned from my own observations. That is, your hands are really flexible and they will expand. Think big. Just think big. Seems like students like, hey, let me see you stretch your fingers out. Like, gotta think big. Stretch that out every day. Just work on stretching. Oh, one more thing. You could do a scale like this. Ugh. Just play the scale real big, So that's like a 3, 5, 7, 8 with index, middle, ring, pinky. Yeah, man, just get that hand going. All right, you got this. Keep rocking. Thank you.